Welcome to Desynced. My name is Nilaus, and this is a first look at this upcoming game. Desynced is an upcoming factory RTS game. It's currently in closed alpha, and thank you to the developers, Stage Games Incorporated, for providing a key. But there will also be a demo available on Steam with limited content, so you can see if this is a game for you. Now, what is Desynced? According to the Steam description, it says the following. Desynced is a sci-fi survival game, strategy game, where you gather, build, and explore and fight to survive using fully customizable units and behaviors. Research new technology and expand your power. Discover an AI on the brink of self-awareness and step into the blight to uncover the truth of the world. On top of that, I will add that this game has some really unique features, a basic concept on mixing buildings and units and how this all interacts. It's a very cleverly done, and it is something that I haven't seen anywhere else. On the other hand, you can also say that this flexibility and this unique approach also makes it a bit more inaccessible to get into. It is really requiring a bit of a programmer's mindset. But fear not, this is pre-early access, so a lot of things can be added in terms of internal tutorial. And of course, I am also here to serve as your tutorial for these kind of things. These first look videos aim at showcasing the gameplay and highlight the strengths and weaknesses to help you decide whether this is a game for you and whether it is a game you want me to showcase more on YouTube and Twitch. So let me know in the comment section and let the developers know by wishlisting it on Steam. It helps them tremendously. I'll be doing a lot more of these first look and let's tries both on Twitch and YouTube. And if you want to support that, then subscribe to the channel, so keep up to date with that. Also, I have a Patreon, so I don't have to showcase sponsored videos. I can showcase whatever the hell I want, but that is only possible thanks to the lovely people supporting on Patreon. Right, let's dive in and get started on a new game. Activation protocol confirmed. Error. Main system check. Error. Data integrity. Error. Force recovery. Data corruption. Activating Higgs protocol. Restarting simulation. Partial recovery confirmed. Simulation integrity desynced. Press any key to begin simulation. Right, so we land here on the planet.
Welcome
we have a few
back,
units.
Commander. You've been in stasis since my arrival. I am Elaine, Emergent Logistics Artificial Intelligence Network. I've been activated due to severe structural damage to your ship, rendering many systems offline and in need of repairs.
Okay, so we are starting here.
We are currently orbiting around an unknown planet. A landing team has beamed to the surface, but a blight is causing interference to our scanners. You will need to deploy a small mining facility and establish an uplink from ground level. Try to find a metal deposit, as we will need it for repairs.
Okay, so we have 3 units to start with, and the one thing I'm just trying to look for, and I can use control. As soon as I click here, then the next will start. I'll just get a little bit started here on just scanning around before we set down our initial base. We definitely want to get started somewhere close to this, but yeah, let's start it here. All right, so we deploy the base.
Your units gain functionality by equipping components, such as a miner or a fabricator. Components come in 4 sizes: internal, small, medium, and large, and can fit into sockets of the same size or larger. You can select the goals to get more information on how to complete them.
Right, so here, this was already like the most important message in the entire game. This is the core of the gameplay. Now we have a single building and we have our 2 units here. These are scouts that we can control. What you can see here is that inside my central command, you could also, if this was StarCraft, you could call it the command center, but it might be a little bit inspired by it. You can see over here there are medium socket, internal socket. Then we have over here, we have a small socket, an internal. That is actually where you add functionality. So basically both a building and a unit serve as a platform, and then you can put components in. You can see this one has a turret component and it has a power cell component. That power cell produces power, and you can put this into a unit if you like. You can put the turret into a unit, which is actually what would make a lot of sense. So we're going to be putting the just dragging it from here into the unit. The unit comes over and then it gets it. So now you can see on top of this little unit here, we now have a turret on top, and that works as long as we are in power. I'm going to be highlighting this. This is the area of of power around the central command can be expanded at a later stage. And there we go. So that's internal, small, medium, and large. I have not seen large
You'll find
yet.
a mining component in your inventory. Equip it on your unit to allow harvesting. You will also find a fabricator which can be used to create metal bars. Connecting your units to the logistics network allows them to deliver materials autonomously, so I'd suggest you do that now. More information is available in the codex.
There. Okay, so now we are going in. So what I did now is I moved the laser mining tool to one of our scouts. And this is where things become very generic and a little bit difficult because, but you get used to it after a bit. So the thing is, this one is a mining tool. We have to specify what it wants to do, so we can go in here and then you have like whether it's an inventory thing or it's a world object, and it gets a little bit clunky. But you can also just hold here and simply drag over and say, you know what, just go to that one. Then we'll go to that one as long as it's inside this area, logistic network or nearby. Then on top of that, I want to hit it connected to the logistics network, which means now that things will be interchanged here. I will also interact the other one with the logistics network, completed the goal of interacting with the logistics network. Now what happens is that once this one fills up, the other one will presumably come in, pick it up and bring it back if that's there. Then we have a fabricator, which is a building, which it's kind of a constructor in a Factorio sense. But what is also interesting is you can build it on unit instead. That's really weird. So as soon as you put it here, you get a sort of a context specific command. In this case, it was what do you want to mine? In this case, it is what do you want to produce? So at this point, what do we want to produce? We can produce an assembler, which is producing more complicated stuff than the fabricator. Fabricator is generally making like simple materials like that. It's kind of sort of like a smelter more in Factorio's Satisfactory. But we are going to select the metal bar. Then if we just click enter, it'll only produce one. So you have to drag it over here to say infinite. We just want to produce infinite. Now what happens is the other one, since that's also part of the network, will figure out that there is a command or
there should be some crystal fragments laying on the ground nearby. Since we only need a few for now, you won't need a miner, just gather the ones that you can pick up. I'd also recommend you take the turret. Just make sure not to run out of power while it's outside your power grid. Once you have the raw materials, you should build an assembler. With it you will be able to produce new components, including an uplink.
It really wants to go back and do stuff in the network here, but I don't want to allow it. I want to just go back and pick up all of this scattered materials so that we have a lot of this chunks. So how about this? This is a game that doesn't have iron and copper. How about that? Isn't that amazing? No iron, copper. It has crystal chunks and it has metal. And then I am going to simply put that back in here. And I'm just dragging it in, and then it will go in here. And then it will continue on the command going back and forth. We have all of these locations. The way it works in inventory wise, you can see here it has metal ore, which is reserved because any input for this and any output for that is going to be done. This one is will highlight if there's something missing, and you can see we can also start dragging this one over to be different. I don't know what I did. See, this is why. This is the part where there's clearly some advanced logic to some of these things, and I don't understand it yet. So we'll definitely figure that out at some point, but probably not right now. Now, what I can then do is I can go in here, change the recipe to an assembler, which takes 10 of these plates and 10 of those plates. So that's actually not yet. So I'm going to have to go in here and make 10 of these there. That will require 20. And we have 20 here. So now these are already, you can see they're scratched out. That means they're already reserved for this production. We can then use our, this one, I want control 1. And then, oh, actually, you should be control 1. And you should be control 2. And you should be control 3. You can see up here, 1, 2, 3. Function like control groups. Normally, we can use our the one with the turret, and we can go over to this location, which is now an explorable location. And these are sort of like mini puzzles where we can first hack the network, and then there might be a thing that we require, and then we get the loot that's in there. And then we have these things. So basically the idea of this is that we click something here, and then it changes the from on and off to the nearby. And then once you have everything online, then it is connected. So now I have connected the network. Now I need an item to repair, and then I get access to it. I can't really do that yet. So we'll build one of these. This is now making an assembler. You can see the assembler is a medium component.
Before creating the uplink,
Okay.
it is best to expand your base with a few more buildings and mobile units. If you link your components together, you can begin automating your production.
Good stuff. And you can then go back to this one, just continue making more of these. And so before making the uplink is our objective. We put our assembler into the other medium location, and then we can see what we can build. I'm going to start actually making... No, I'm not, unfortunately. I want to make that one, but I can't. I need to get a little bit of this. Here, 10 of those. So I want to make a circuit board. The reason why I want to make a circuit board is because this here requires a circuit board for us to get into it. We can disable this part, but I kind of like knowing how big of an area it is. We don't really need it right now. Did you get it? Yes. Did you get it? Nope. You can see here the little progress bar here. And you don't need to be there. I will get you there. We'll start by making as much as possible on the metal bars, and then we'll be getting on with some other things afterwards. Now, what would we like to make? We could like to make a worker. You can also see here there's a miner bot prefab. That's basically a blueprint, so you can make like specific units that have specific things. And I think that's super amazing how you can sort of combine it together. This is basically just a miner, a mining laser, a miner, and a laser. So we just want a robot here. I'm just thinking this is the right thing. Yeah, because we can take the worker out. And then from here, I'll drag my one circuit board. What? Oh no! Did I? I just used it here. Oh, typical. There. This drone, then I rather have the scouts being available for scouting. So now I'm just moved the component from my scout over to my worker. Now again, the worker has to be assigned here. It has to be assigned to the network. And then I'm also going to say a home register, which basically says, where do you want to go afterwards? So this basically means that if you fill up, and it will very soon, then it will, let's see, where's the other one? Here. You are going to go in here and here and here. Then it will afterwards go back if there's no one to support it. I am not getting this. Why am I not getting that? And that's going to be here. Just get me one. How many does it? Oh, it takes 3. That's why. So when that's done, you can go back here and let's actually make a few fabricators, because that's kind of what we want to do urgently. Are you kidding me? I did that again, didn't I? Yeah. Get that over there. All right. So I want to show how it works. I'm going to send you over. And on top of that, I want to make a laser. Yes, because then I can use the other scout for mining as well. We definitely want to make sure that we can do as much mining as possible. And you're going to go back. It takes a bit of effort to get going just in the beginning. And I got the laser, so I'm going to put that on here. You'll just be getting that and home again. So these ones will go home when they're full. Back to this location. And in the meantime, I can feed this as much as possible. I can also, let's see what else I can do here. I'd like to build this, but I can't really. So what I'm going to do is just replace that for a bit. Get some of this there. And then I can use my marker here, my scouts is going to transfer.
The technology in this structure is highly compatible with our own. Investigating more of these structures would advance our own technology.
Excellent. So now we can pick up all these items. Data cubes have extremely dense data clusters. We can only read surface level data. We should find more of them to study. Perfect. And then I'm going to go back and we can already see our inventory is suffering quite a bit here. We now got a capacitor, which is a little battery, which is super cool because that means that the scout can roam further because it now has a battery charge here. Then we have a behavior controller, which is basically sort of if really just the abstraction level is this enables sort of the circuit network, the logic network, and I will just show you, and then I will. Please don't freak out. So this is where you can program advanced behavior. I have not gotten into it. I've talked to other people who looked at it and went like, this is super cool, and then didn't really see it. So you can kind of like make a little program that requests the item, waits the time, drop off, move, and then conditions and all that stuff. It's super amazing. I'm sure that this will be expanded later on in terms of sort of build some simple programs of, okay, go here, but if this is empty, then go over here, or go follow that one and then do these kind of commands. It's not something we need at this point, so we'll keep it around. What we really want to do is we want to make sure that we yeah, let's put that in there and put that in there, and I want to then produce there. Now, what is it we want to produce? We can now use the B button. The B is for building, surprise, surprise. And what can we build here? Well, we can build a small unit. It's a 1x1 tile. You can see 1x1 tile, and this will have one socket, and it's a small socket. One socket, and oh, it also has one internal. It's actually very nice that it also has one internal. Now, I want to leave 2 spaces here because they move better. Everything moves sort of in a space, so it's still sort of on a grid. So I want to make sure that there's a little bit of room between them. So I'm going to build one here, and you can see that anything inside the network can start working on these things. All right, so let's see, what are we missing? We're missing some circuits. Okay, so let's have this one make some circuits. We need to get 4 circuits in order to get that done, and then we need as soon as we get the first one, we can then start working on getting the fabricator in, and then start outsourcing the stuff in the fabricator here into these locations, and simply get more dedicated locations. You can see it now. We got the first one, and we're going to be dragging a fabricator in here. What? There we go. All right, I just missed it. So here I am going to say get all of that, just forever and ever build this. You can see this doesn't have a big storage. It only has 4 storage, while this one's a much bigger storage. These ones also have 4 storage, but the workers only have 1 storage. So I can go out, work, and that's it. This is, what are we missing? We are metal plate. Yeah, so this one could go over and change over to metal plate for that matter. Then no, I'm gonna need these. There, I need 1, 2, 3. Right, so we need to get the circuits done, and each circuit will allow us to get 1 more of the buildings completed. And each of these, as that gets completed, we can now get it in. And you can see this one works as, even though it's a scout, it also works as, it can work as a miner, it can work as an attack unit, it can work as a logistics thing, and just while it's idle, as long as it's connected to the network, it'll be working on stuff inside the base here, which I think is amazing. Then we can go here, and you go back. So it's really clever in the way that how it interacts. Let's see, that one, 1, 2, 3, and then I need 1 more. And these will now also be there. I'll have 2 of those, and you know what, I'll just make 1 of those, and there we go. And then gets the last one in. Didn't get? No, not yet. Yeah, okay, so what do we want to build now? We want to build, I'd actually like to build another, let's see, that's here. So I don't want to build it more than 4 here. That should be fine. Now, at this point, I want you to make continuously. Now, let's make 10 of this. And this is bars, and this is, and I'm, oops, yeah. Great. Then I can take this out, and I'll make another assembler, because then I can start having only assemblers here, because those are the only places I can actually make the medium stuff. So it's much more valuable to take a medium into a medium, because I can easily make smaller things in the smaller slots. This is a good move forward, and we can establish the uplink. We will definitely want to make some more of the worker drones So let's make 10 of those. And in the meantime, as soon as the worker drone comes out, we can stop having this one just frantically running back and forth, like, and have you actually go out and help on building things out and about in the world. Right. So once we have, yeah, you need to get this inbound. And the issue is that I think that we are overproducing plates. Well, we're using everything we have, so there's not much I can do about this. Let's see. We can also... Oh, there we go. There's a little drone. I will simply just set you to be available here. So now we have a drone that can be working, and that means I can take my worker out, and I'll make sure you can disable it from the network, because we want this to be out and roaming and not sort of getting entangled with all of this. The other workers, I'll just hit them and get them available to the network. And we have here, we work again on one of these. It's always this one. There we go. And then it needs one circuit. Do we have a circuit? Yes, we do. And that will go, I'll just drag it up. Okay, they are actually disappearing because they're going into all of these. I will just enable them and let them be part of the network. That will be way too much, by the way, way too many. I actually don't want to have that here. Let's see. But what we do have now issue is that we do not have... Ugh, this is our only crystal chunks. Yeah, we need someone to get some crystal chunks for us, and I'm going to be making a few more lasers. Unfortunately, that's going to require 20 chunks. That is a little bit of a problem. Any of these on the ground? Yeah, there's a few on the ground here that I can take. That should allow us now to start working on some more miners, and then you will go back over here and then deliver the circuit in order to do the repairs. Now we have actually built a little bit too many of these. Everything is connected to the network, and we need a few more to be allocated as miners for sure. But we also need another row of these. You can see that they actually built foundation around themselves, just as they do, and they are now transfer
item. It is clear these structures were built by a similar life form, yet the timestamps date back thousands of years. These storage devices still have an intact matrix. They can hold the info in the data cubes. The similarity to our own technology means we can easily adapt our robotics factory to their production.
All right, good stuff. We did get some chunks, which is nice. We do need those chunks for our production here. Those chunks, there we go. Now that will get working on some of these, and as soon as we get that, we can start putting them out here. We get now another little miner, which we then have to allocate, and also allocate with back here. As soon as we get the uplink, which is the next target here, there's a really good progress bar here where you just get information on what's next. There's a really good codex here with some tutorials, but honestly, do you need tutorials when you're watching here? I hope not. And we get more of this. Now, another thing that we also want is... Can I get that? Yeah. Now, we do need to mine some of this, even though it's way too far away. That's definitely not what I wanted. Wow, that was just the most clumsy thing I could have done. Yeah, it might be somewhere on the ground. I have no idea where it went. Yeah, I think I just threw it away. Anyway, we'll just get another one. There we go. You will go up to this one. And now the issue is that this is too far away, and therefore it'll be... still don't want that. I'll just do this. It'll go up there, mine a bit, and then it'll run out of power, which is super annoying, but I can't really do anything about it. This one is waiting for a circuit, so let's have one of these make a few circuits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. And this is the main problem. So we're going to be sending our... There. Can I... Yeah, hold on. I want to get rid of these things because I want to have an empty inventory. There. And then we can just go out and grab all the stuff that isn't sort of nailed down and then get it back. A lot of this, there we go, and that one we brought back. And now this can be used to build a satellite uplink. it's pretty cheap. This satellite uplink is once this is complete, it goes in and becomes here, and then we can make the satellite uplink, which will replace one of these assemblers, unfortunately, but that's kind of how it is. I can also just keep doing. There we go, and that should be here. Now I want to make 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's 3 more, so then we have 8 of these locations. I think that's going to be quite handy when we get a little further. Then we get the uplink. Yep. And now we want to establish the uplink. I just drag it in here.
We have established a connection to the surface, and I have already begun synchronizing our databases. With this, we are now able to research new technology from the tech tree interface. This will help us replace the missing data from the damaged data center.
Excellent. So now we open the tech tree, and this is really interesting because, well, that doesn't look interesting, does it? No. But here, this is kind of, it says basic, advanced, and robots. And then we have, this is basically the part of the tech tree we can do now. Because I have a bit of an issue with the tech tree that just, you click it and you just get overwhelmed. Here, pretty neatly done. There's only one thing to click. You click the damn thing, and then you have something that can go like, all right, this is what we need to work on. We can go like basic signals, basic structures, basic power. Those all seem very reasonable to get. It wants us to do basic signals first, which will give us a signal reader. It'll give us a portable radar, and it'll give us a signpost. Not the most impactful things, but it just takes 5 circuits, and it will be 50 seconds of research, which means that we need to make sure that the other one will continue to make some circuits. And down here we now have a much better location or much stronger build here. This will now be, all the top ones will now be changed to be only, there we go, and these will now be only that 1 and 2 and 3, and then the last one will actually make foundation plate, because hey, foundations are pretty good. And that is now a pretty good setup for all of us to build all these things to build here. Now we can then get our, there. Hey, we already got it. Basic signals deal with sending and receiving signals around your base. It allows your buildings and units to communicate information to each other across any distance. Combined with linking of registers, it is a powerful tool for coordination and automating your units. Yeah, what really sort of gets me here is that I don't really feel that it does much at this point. And maybe I'm just missing it, but like, why would I even want a signal reader at this point? I don't know. But what I do want is a basic structure, because that allows us to build a little bit bigger building that has one M and one S. So one medium socket and one small socket. These will be very good for sort of factory buildings. We can also make a small 1x1 that has a medium, or a small 1x1 that has 2S. That's actually interesting, 2S for a small one. We can also make reinforced plates, which is another component we need, and storage block. Storage block is actually the one that we need the most. So it needs 30 of those, and that's actually something we have already. So that's pretty good. Let's have our drone go out here. It actually has a little things to pick up at this location. And we got it there. And I can then go out there and find more things to explore out in the world. That's a kind of a little thing to sort of keep us occupied. I hope I get the other type of thing. Nope, we get this one again. There we go. And then I need one more circuit, and we'll go back. What we can do here is you right click, fix the mount, scroll it all the way down, drag it on top of it, and then it'll come back maybe to the edge. Someone else will bring it, or it'll go all the way in and pick it up. All workers are available. This one is, oh, we don't have anything out there to mine. This mining is just way too far away. This is going to be an eternal problem, I guess, because this one is it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You are also a miner, so I'll just drag you down there. And I'd really like to get a few more miners here and there. You got the circuit. I will be leaving that one out. What are we going to make here? Well, I think we want more drones though. So let's make 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 5. Yeah, let's make 5 miners, and then afterwards 5 of the other ones. And then I have my circuit. I'll be bringing it up here. And one of the issues is that this is running out of power. So we can do a
The serial numbers on some of these parts match our own exactly, however the chances of two species evolving in exactly the same way are astronomical. How is such a thing possible?
I do not know, but I'll grab it. There we go. Access granted. And you will be coming back with some of the new things here. I love that it's more looked like a circuit board than normal foundations. And now we have a lot of foundation plate. So maybe we should just make sure that we have a foundation out here. Like, it moves 10% faster, and foundation is foundation. So of course we want that. I'd also really like to get down here. Ah, man, I should have built closer to some of those. Some of them chunks. You go in there. I don't think I want the behavior controller, so I'm going to take the portable radar instead. And let's see if I can throw that in there, throw that in there, and throw that in there. Oh, not enough room. Yeah, this is a problem. We are getting just too many things in. This is why we need the basic structure, so we can get some storage. Yes, we'll make do with this one for now. You can see these are really in trouble, as they only start charging up again back when they are like this. So we need to find a way to get them a little bit better structured. Okay, so what we can see here is the miner doesn't work because it doesn't have anywhere to build it. Is it? Yeah, this one's building. And that's building the worker. And then that got another miner. What? Miner. Yes. And another miner. Get down there. Click. And then drag the Home Depot back again. And as we complete this, we can then get started on the next. And we have exactly enough room. Where are you located? Oh, right. What are you doing? Get that in here. All right, we got this. And I'm going to be looking at the last one with the basic power, last of the initial ones. And we are going to, what am I going to build here? Oh, right. Now it's the storage. Yes, storage is super important. I'm going to build storage here. And I'm even going to build another one. Am I going to build it up here? Yeah, I'm going to build it there. And I'm going to be building another one there, I think. So that is, what does that take? It takes some circuits. Okay, so you need to continue making circuits. Let's get 10 more of those. Just getting going. And I will take my explorer out for exploration. Solved, and out and explore. They are desperately removing these chunks, and hopefully, or the idea will be that I'll use these for, yeah, well, for dedicated storage. Here's another one we can investigate. Let's see what kind of... Ah, here's the other kind of the puzzle. This one we need to make sure that everything is connected to the circuit. There we go. They're a little bit easier. And we need one more circuit coming in. I can take a specific amount, take one and grab it there. Right, so now we have, well, none of these are really working yet. Okay, this got work, and we got the power is required to run your base. If you go over your power threshold, the efficiency of your units will decrease, making them run slower until they're able to function at all. They are unable to function at all. Units have emergency stored power that allow them to return to the base in case of power outage. You can check using the command center. So this is our power. We produce 500 from our command center, and that's going to be enough for now. Now what I want to do is, for this one, I want to say all of these things, instead of having a home at this point, I'm going to have them get a home here. By getting this one to be their home, that means whenever they're full, they're going to be brought back to this location. This one I can also just do, hey, you want to request 1,000,000 of these? There we go. That just adds one stack here. 20 spaces dedicated for this. And again, we can go in here, and then I think that's a good idea to get some foundations as well. Now, our exploration, our calibration vehicle is here, and we can then get it out, back out for, nope, that's solved. It's this one. So on the map, you will also see other things that are, well, worse, more dangerous out here. And that will, that's sort of like, there's some blight, there's some things. This is where we can go in here. Look at that. There's a virus research, a human intel, a blight research, and some alien technology. Those are things that are unlocked based on what you do and what you explore out in the world. And I think that's a pretty damn cool. If we look at our build right now, we could actually start building the bigger ones as well. If I build that over here, it needs to be 2 apart, I think. Let's make that. Oh, that's interesting. Can I not build on top of it? I can probably not build on top of it because it's like that. The boat, and let's build one of these bigger buildings. There. And these are working, and this, by the way, should also be, all of these will now have a Home Depot here, Home Depot there, and Home Depot there. So this one will fill up with all of the raw metal ore instead of getting it in here, because I really don't want to get it in there. I want to get it up to that location. And you can also see right now that it's pretty obvious that we need to make a lot more of these builds. And since we don't use the research right now, we're going to change it over and make that one. There we go. And I can also start shuffling things around. I don't want to, these are like more advanced resources that we can't really use right now, so I'm just going to move them over there. We also have some buildings. I'll keep that one here. If we have some other buildings there, so that cleans up this inventory quite nicely, and we can then start working on this. This is kind of where are you? That was not it. It's this one. And we want to get up here. No, not that one. Man, I'm just clicking on every single wrong one. Moving over and get the exploration.
We are on the verge of a major breakthrough.
Woohoo!
This will allow us to develop our own new technologies based on the data we have gathered.
Perfect. It's actually kind of funny because we got 5 of these data cubes, which was something we need like much later. So getting them at this point seems a bit early. And there. This is requiring 2 + 20. So right now we are having issues. What is the issues here? Missing production of metal bars. Why are we not getting metal bars? I think that is because things are getting in here, but we don't really have anyone who is... Alright, these are the builders, or the logistics ones. They are the ones who are supposed to move things around, but they got a little bit busy because someone decided to pave the world. What a surprise. Right, production is back online, and we have a lot more drones out here. Those are excellent. I'll just take all of them and then hook them up to the network, and then they'll start flurrying around like crazy. And we'll also be using that opportunity to get a few more miners here. Let's get 5 more miners. And all of this, just hook them up. I think everything now is hooked up. It's just that there isn't a whole lot of stuff to do at this point. What we really want to do is get this one working, but that requires the reinforced plate, which we don't have yet because I'm kind of busy on doing other things at this moment. In the meantime, we have our scout out here, just looking desperately for interesting things to scout. There is an interesting thing to scout for sure. And we can view a code, and we have one of these again. There we go. And we need another one of those circuits. So we are going to be taking another circuit. It's quite often that it's circuits here in the beginning. And get that to here. There's more than... No, there's only one. All right. Once this one is done, we are... Yeah, you can see right now our issue is that we are not getting enough miners down here. So let's take and make some more miners for here and here. These 3, they are all... I wonder if you can do it all on... No, I can't really do it. I can do this part here. No. World object. Select on map. That one. Select. Yes. Can I go... click them all down here? I can. Interestingly enough, this one is going to drop off some junk in the wrong location. This is, where are you? You are not comfortable with that. So let's get that chunk down here. That's really far away and they're going to be running out of juice all the time. There is actually a way to solve that. And I want to show that because I think that's a pretty cool idea. There's a power bot prefab. Let's build that. That requires a power crystal that charges itself by consuming crystals, which is what we want, and a portable field, power field. So I will be needing to make a portable power field, and I need to make a, one at a time. You can't queue them up, unfortunately. So this one will require 10 of these. I'll just need to get you out, and you will be making a portable power field, one of those. So let's get those two built. And now we can build this prefab like that. Technically we didn't need, we could have just put those on a separate location, but I really wanted to show you how that could be done. And from here I will be taking, we'll get all of them like that. And since this is done, this will now be working on the reinforced iron plates for this part, or reinforced metal plates. Over here we have our delivery of our scouts.
We have discovered key parts of deciphering these technologies. We are a step closer to the point where we will be able to create our own simulations.
Excellent. That is a good progress here. Now we got a really cool little one. This one's +4 storage. So we can, if the storage block unfortunately doesn't have any blocks, but it can be used quite efficiently on something if we didn't want to get you with a it could be for a miner, for example, that could get it. Actually not, but there. We'll get these things and I'll put this up here. So basically this one will contain building materials that are too advanced for us to produce at this point, and the other one will contain like buildings we just don't have unlocked yet. And that will also go into that one, so we can actually mine one more. So we have a lot of extra here. Did we get our new miner? Yes, we did. So how about we build it and then try to see if we can build it down here. I will also request here.
You require a power source to operate efficiently. You can equip one after you've researched it or build components that's
yeah, okay, that was kind of silly. I now brought this one, the power bot, out without actually remembering to power it. It needs to be in here, and we need to make sure that we right now, because we have so many drones, we're actually kind of overusing our power. I might have gone a little overboard with the the drones, because I wanted to sort of have an efficient logistics network. The power bot prefab is not part of the logistics network. If it's part of the logistics network, now it's actually interesting. Inventory full is inventory full, so it can't really do anything. I'm kind of wondering if I do this, whether stuff will still be brought to it even though it's not part of the network. I'm actually a bit in doubt about it. I don't think so, because it's not part of the network. So if I add this, then it will be part of the network. But it's not charging here. The stuff down here is not charging, and it's not charging because it's not really getting enough here. These are just desperately trying to come in here, leave off, and I think we got like a little infinite loop here where they go in and discharge, go out, get stuck, and come back. That's lovely. So these just need to just get in here and do some charging until they are fully charged. That is kind of finding a workable solution here by having our power bot following one of the other bots around, and then it is powering these while they are mining, and then hopefully they will be able to mine somewhere. Now of course this one is at 20, so the other ones probably are going to be running out. The idea is that this will actually hopefully be getting a little bit, so it goes up there and gets just one more, and then it uses that power just to do that. It'll have to stick to one of them, and it just sticks to this one for now, and then it will charge up all the other ones as it is here. So you can see this is how you can make like weird combinations of basically having a little power plant, power pole, and putting it on a unit so that it goes back and forth. I think that's super interesting idea, and something I'm definitely looking forward to exploring in this game. Now granted, in the time that we have played here, we haven't really done much, so it's a slow game. As you can see also, we have tons of interesting things to research. I definitely want to research this one because that allowed me to expand my power and therefore also my logistics network. We get some solar cells, we can get more power. It's definitely something we want to do. And that will require us to go back here and switch up to that one. Now, this is in an early, no, it's not even early, it's a pre-alpha, and I could do like a few episodes of this, and I think that would be super cool. When it comes to an early access, I have no idea when it is, whether it's in days, weeks, months. It's probably more months than anything else. Then I'd like to dive into this game and some more. So it basically, at this point, if you want to see me continue this one as we unlock more tech, explore the world, find some blight, find some enemies, because there are also enemies in this game, and try to sort of piece together a logistics network, then you know the drill. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course leave a comment in the comment section below so I know what's going on and your thoughts about this game or other games as well. If you want to support further, then there's of course the Patreon, and I really appreciate everyone who's supporting there. You can also suggest other games for me to try out in Discord. I really appreciate that, and that's how I find most of my games. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.